Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here, and today's video is gonna be a little special. If you remember me actually opening up a Wii and changing the outside of the color and have that transparent Wii, check out the video in the description below after this if you want to see more about that. But anyways, today I'm gonna teach you how I open up a Switch Joy-Con that's drifting. And this time it's not the left one like we usually do, at least for this video. It's the white one right here. This one's actually drifting because, as you can see here, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I have Scarlet by the way, is moving by itself the camera, but the character is staying still. So you could tell that this is the analog stick right here that you use to move the camera around, but the left analog stick, that left Joy-Con, used to move the character. The character is staying still, as you can see. So this has to drift, and I'm gonna be replacing it with this right here, and we'll see how that goes. And there's something I applied on a YouTube video that I'm gonna show you as well to make sure that this doesn't drift. Hopefully. Let's see how this works. This is only the second time I ever opened a switched Joy-Con, the right one, and then eventually I'll also show you how the left one opens as well, because I'm gonna be replacing this analog at some point as well on the left one. Let's have a closer look at this whole thing, and we'll see how we can open it up and how I do it properly, organized, step by step. And I have to thank a few YouTube tutorials on helping me on this, of course, as well. So let's go on. Okay guys, so just to be clear, in order to open a Switch Joy-Con, you're going to need the tri-head screwdriver. This is the iFixit tool where I could just remove one of these and then put another one, which is the cross screwdriver right here. And then I also got this flat one right here so I could open the Switch Joy-Con, try to press things together and stuff. And of course, a pair of tweezers does help as well in order to put things in place, ribbon cables and all that stuff. And yeah, let me see how we're going to put everything together. I'll see you there, guys. So as you can see here is my dark Mario red right Joy-Con on both sides. So the first step you need to do in order to unscrew this Switch Joy-Con is to unscrew these four things here. As you can see, there's a screw here, right here, and then there's two down there. So let's do that real quick. And next of all, you're gonna need a three-way screwdriver. I'll name it in the bottom so you have an idea what it looks like. I have this iFixit tool right here. So I have all the tools I need in order to open the Joy-Con. I got these tweezers right here for the ribbon cables, or for anything I need for it. Yeah, just in case, we're also going to be using a scissor and a piece of hardcover paper, because we're going to do something about the Joy-Con drift as well afterwards. Yeah, so that's pretty much the plan. Let's start off with this real quick. Let's see, does this thing stick? No, I'm gonna have to put this. And here is where I'm gonna organize the screws. So I'm gonna show you how they're organized afterwards, but I'm just gonna put it here for now. These little squares are great for separating the screws, by the way. So that's why the iFixit tool that I have, if you're looking for it, I have a link in the description below. You can buy it yourself. So yeah, let's just leave it there for now. Let's get to the other two. That's the very last thing we're gonna put together. Little by little. If you have a little thing a little plastic flat surface to open it, you could. But if you don't have it, just be very careful on how you open this thing. So this right here is like a flat screw end right here. So you could actually go through the lines on the side of the Joy-Cons. And I should be able to take it off now. And here we go. Carefully take it off, and this is what the insides look like. You see that there's a battery in there. This battery is still good, so we're gonna keep it as it is. The next step we're going to show right now. Okay, for the next step, this little plastic thing you see right here in the middle, you have to remove it carefully. There is this little thing down here. Let me see if I could show it to you. You see that there is this little thing that's connected to the board. You're gonna gently remove it, and this is what it looks like. So we're gonna put that aside for a moment, and then we're gonna attempt to take off the battery right here, because we do need to get to the analog sticks. So right here is a way to remove it. I'm not sure you can see it very well, but there's like a wire that is across this, so you definitely got to be careful how you're going to remove this. So I would definitely try to slowly remove this first, if you can, with the tweezers right here. If you can see me how I'm doing this closely, careful not to, and there we go. Gotta be very careful you don't damage the wires. So now that that thing's out the way, all I have to do is remove this, and that's the battery right here. So the battery we will put it aside as well. Okay, so the next thing you have to do, there's 3 screws, one here, and one down here, that you're gonna have to unscrew first, so we could actually get to the main joycon itself. So we're getting there, we're almost there. So let me just take them off real quick, very gently. This one actually magnetized, by the way. I grabbed one of the screws here. We'll get this screw next. Just make sure that I have it grabbed. It's right here, and right here. Then we put it aside. We'll take this off carefully. Oh yeah, and this is where there's a ribbon cable there, right in this area, that you have to be careful with. So you could try to, it's like the ribbon cable right here. This is like the most hardest part for me to put back, pretty much. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but there is a ribbon cable right below it. So yeah, I'm gonna focus on taking it out, and then we'll go on to the next step. So as you can see, I just took it off. You kind of needed this tool right here in order to open up the ribbon cable's little door. I'm gonna show you exactly where that was, right here. Yeah, that was where that ribbon cable was, and I just opened it. So I could close it like this, and I could also open it like this too, just being very careful. And then I use these tweezers right here. Like I said, I'm not the best tutorial. I'm still practicing on doing this tutorial, so I hope you could bear with me. Let's get on to the final piece of the puzzle, shall we? Yeah, you don't see it well, but it's the cross-shaped one. There's 2 screws right here, as you can see. It's 2 screws that we have to take off, and then we have one more ribbon cable right here, so we could detach. So then we could replace to the new one. So just give me a moment, and I'll get to that real quick. Okay. And we got this too. Just be very careful. And now let's get the line screwdriver, so we could try to take the ribbon cable out from here too. So right here, as you could probably see, this is what we need to work on. Here we go. So this lash right here that it was down, you have to pull it up from this ribbon cable as well. And this is how I'm gonna take off this right here. And as you can see, this is the old analog stick. Now this is the one that has to drift, by the way, so it looks like it's in pretty good shape. We could always save this for another repair in the future. So now we're gonna try to replace for this one right here. And we're gonna try to reconnect the ribbon cable back to its socket. So yes, just bear with me a little bit. So try to put this in here very carefully. Try to align these things together. So as you can see here, we have to put the screws back on these two. So after you aligned it, you put the screws, and once I get the screws back in, then we'll move on to the next step. Yep, so I'm putting this back on, making sure that it's intact. So as you can see now, it's sticking in the joycon, so it seems to be pretty nice. Now I'm gonna try to connect the ribbon cable back very carefully. I'll get back to you guys very soon, but I'm just gonna show you right here. This ribbon cable right here, we need to stick it back inside here, so that way it could properly connect to what it's supposed to do. So okay, somehow I was able to put it in. I recommend you use the tweezer. You grab it by the neck of the ribbon cable, you pull it in a little bit gently so you can slide it in afterwards. And yeah, you don't really need anything to push it in. It usually just slides in with your fingers, but you just gotta be careful how you do it. I did it very gently, as you can see. And then the last thing to do is just pull this down again. Let me see if I can just do it through this. Okay, looks like it should be intact right now. This is how I did it, guys. This is the replacement analog stick right here. So yeah, we're gonna see how this works once we put it back in. But there is one thing I want to do before I put it all together, and it's to cut a piece of paper and put it on top of it, in between this and this as well. Also, there is another thing I want to point out, is that a lot of times when you try to open this all the way down to here to the Joy-Con analog stick, this thing tends to pop off. Let me just show you real quick. Like this thing right here, it tends to pop off this thing. So it's actually pretty easy for you to put it back. This R button right here tends to stick out very easily, but it's pretty easy to put it back in. And yeah, it's just have to align. It's just push the spring inside this thing right here. That's the spring on the bottom of the R button. And you just click it in a little bit. You just gotta be careful. So be sure to do that before you put everything back together pretty much. Okay, so afterwards, you remember that little paper that I actually cut out? Well, I cut out a piece of this thing. And this cannot be just any paper. It has to be one of those type of business card type of paper that has like a hard cover that feels like pretty strong and sturdy. And then I applied that size right here, right on top of where the Joy-Con is. Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, where it says Todas right here, I cut it from this paper right here. So yeah, you can use any forms of business cards or any hard paper pretty much, and just put it on top of it, and then gently put this back in its place right here. And you just put the 3 screws that I took out earlier back in its place. Okay, so I'm gonna put one here. So one goes here. Then the other one. Gotta be careful, but at least it has magnetism. So put the next screw right next to it down here very carefully. I know that my hands could shake a little bit. There we go. And then we put the last and third screwdriver. Should be better now. Okay, so then the 3 screws are finally back in, as you can see. They're all back in its place. And that Toda thing is just right there. This is supposed to apply the necessary pressure so that it could prevent the Joy-Con drift. It's a little bit tilted, but hopefully that'll be okay. Like I said, this is an experimentation I'm doing. I'm still practicing on this. I'm a noob, but I'm not afraid to take risk when it comes to these things. Except for the DS, of course. I'm not gonna try to take that out anytime soon. Maybe a 2DS, but not the other one. Okay, so this thing right here, we're gonna put it back in its place now. And then we're gonna do the battery after that. So after I have placed this gently, I would recommend you actually use the tweezer to hold this down, right down here. You hold it and then use this to press it. I only use this to press it, but definitely I recommend you do the latter instead. So after that, this wire right here, I had to place it inside where it was before, so it doesn't get in the way of anything. And then right here, I have placed the thing back to its slot. As you can see, this is where it's supposed to be. It may not be perfect, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm also learning myself, but that's how I did it and that's how I followed the tutorial pretty much. So the last thing of all is putting this battery back into place so that it could power up the joycon and everything. So let's carefully do that real quick. And there we go. We just put the battery back in its place. So we just gotta, make sure that the wire is in enough, so then we could do the final piece of the puzzle. The thing doesn't light up by default, by the way, so that's not what I'm really worried about here, to be honest. So yeah, let's put it back in its place. Okay, so just gotta gently put this back. Let me see. Oh, I'm actually seeing lights now. There we go. And now I just have to put the last 4 screws back. Finally, after everything that I have been through, we're gonna put the 4 screws back by default, and these black ones right here is not magnetized, so I'm gonna have to just put it in there and try to... Oh yeah, and just want to let you know, reminder, you gotta use the tri-head screw. You cannot use the 4-pin one. Yeah, the tri-head screw, which has this thing, as you can see in the picture. Yeah, not the cross one. That's the last screw. So you just have to slowly put it in. One more. We'll speed it up if anything. Starting now. Yeah, drop it in because it's not... This doesn't magnetize, so... Slide it in. Oh, hold on. Something is definitely moving on my switch. Okay, let's test it out now, guys, and see if this thing works. So as you can see, it's pretty much functional. And we're gonna do the calibration real quick to ensure that everything is in working order. There's no signs of drifts anymore, which is awesome. Okay, you go to controllers and sensor, calibrate. Okay. I can't say if it's perfect, but you let me know, because I'm not exactly putting it in a perfect way. But it seems to be working. Yeah, I'm not putting everything straight. You let me know. I'll show it to you right now. It looks like it's pretty good. It's pretty much responding. Yep, that's how I changed the analog stick pretty much for the right Joy-Con. Hopefully I can do a better tutorial for the left one. But this is more like a video of how I was able to change the joystick. Yeah, it kind of feels weird that it's blending in the camera. But you know what? I'm kind of glad about it. You get the idea. So, after you've done that, let's test it on the Pokemon game. Before I faced, one of the Elite Force and Indigo disc. Yeah, it seems to be working a lot better now. So, I was able to replace the Joy-Con stick. Yeah, I was able to replace the right analog Joy-Con stick and then made a new one. So, I really am happy about this work. What you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. If I messed up a little bit, I know I made a couple mistakes, so I just added some funny skits there, so you guys can laugh about it a little bit, I guess. It's not the best tutorial out there. I'm not trying to compete with anyone else who are giving actual tutorials on how to replace Joy-Con drift, but to let you know that I'm learning new skills along the way, and with time I could probably help other people fixing Joy-Con drift, replacing Joy-Con analog stick, and some other stuff in the future as well, because I'm on my way of learning some new goals here about electronics and stuff like that, and I really do want to let you guys know about my progress and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to give it a subscribe, feel free to subscribe to this channel. If you want to see other gaming related topic from Magbo Gaming here, be sure to give it a like if you really enjoyed the steps I showed you on how I was able to open this thing, and I hope that it helped you in some ways as well. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below so I could clarify a few things if you want me to, if you need it as well. Or if you want to give me some tips on how I could improve my repair thingy, yeah, definitely give me some criticism as well. I don't mind, as long as they're constructive. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Magbo says, keep up with the hunt, and I hope that you find the games that you're looking for. And until next time, guys, take care, and I'll see you all later. Magbo Gaming out. Bye-bye. Yay, it's working. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other related videos here as well. I also have a Discord server you can join for the video game collecting community, and an Instagram you can follow as well. I even got some merch you may want to check out, my TeePublic link below. Hope to see you again soon.